Hello everyone! Welcome back to Navigating the Periphery. His name is Philip.
And my name is Debra.
There you go. How is everyone doing today? If you're into what we're doing on this channel, please stick around and hit that like and subscribe button. And we want to do that because we want to try to reach and help as many people as we can to get our message out there. And try and reach and help as many people as we can. Navigating the Periphery, we are trying to stop the stigma of a mental health diagnosis one show at a time. And if you know anyone who could benefit from watching this channel, please help spread the word.
Remember, it's okay not to feel or be okay all the time. You guys and gals are not alone. We are here.
So,
Mom, how are you doing today?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
I'm good and ready to discuss today's topic. But first, a brief disclaimer here. We're still not medical professionals.
No, we are not. Our channel is for information and education purposes only. And Philip is speaking to you guys out there from his personal life experience with OCD, GAD, and schizoaffective disorder. So please refer to our full disclaimer at the end of this video and of every video that we put out. Philip? Your turn.
Today, we're going to navigate the periphery of liminality.
Yes.
She's excited. I'm excited too. A topic that has fascinated me for a while. So today, it's the liminality of my schizoaffective disorder. So first off, you may be wondering, and as I'm wearing the shirt,
Yes.
what is a liminal space?
Sorry.
Or maybe you have heard about it online, on social media. Or perhaps you have played the game The Backrooms, or have heard of the creepypasta The Backrooms. If you have never heard of The Backrooms, Google it, because it's really fascinating but disturbing at the same time. Liminal spaces are surreal, often empty places of transition that may also have some sort of nostalgic appeal. These kinds of places are the subject of an internet aesthetic, or popular online visual art style, consisting of images of empty or abandoned locales that appear eerie to the viewer. Liminal space images often evoke a sense of unease, likely because of the uncanny valley effect produced when familiar spaces are observed outside of their normal context. And sometimes this is how I view my schizoaffective disorder, possibly a compartmentalized version of some nostalgic backroom somewhere else in my mind, that my mind only chooses to visit occasionally, like when I experience psychosis, mania, or a depressive episode.
After first emerging on the internet forums in 2019, interest in liminal space aesthetic surged. Thanks to the many images of empty streets and vacated public places that proliferated online when widespread lockdowns were necessitated by the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic. Since that time, images of liminal spaces have remained a popular curiosity across the internet and on various social media platforms. For instance, on 4chan and in video games like The Backrooms. Now, what's interesting is in the past, before the internet was a thing, I can actually recall this, well, because I'm older, but song lyrics from the 70s that talked about the backrooms of my mind. Certain memories of nostalgia, whether from childhood or a certain relationship. I think we all compartmentalize things a bit because it makes life easier, whether getting over a relationship or a certain hurtful situation in life.
Yes.
So I get what Philip means when he says that he looks at his mind like this. He understands he's very ill, but it hurts, so he puts thoughts of before he was diagnosed and other things in other parts of his mind.
And you guessed it, here's my trivia fact for the day. For this episode, in order to properly understand liminal spaces as an internet aesthetic, it is first necessary to explore the meaning and broader concept of liminality itself. German-French folklorist Arnold van Gennep first coined the term liminality in his 1909 work Rites de Passage. In this book, van Gennep examined the idea of transition within the specific context of ceremonies practiced in different groups. He defined liminality as a rite of passage passage that results in a change of status for an individual member of a group or the group as a whole. In essence, liminality is a period of change, during which a person is at once not what they previously were, and not yet what they are about to become. It is also worth noting that the linguistic roots of the word liminal are found in the Latin term limen, meaning threshold. So another interesting thing is, navigating the periphery is kind of a liminal space.
Wow, that's really cool. Well, it is. And if you guys remember, navigating the periphery refers to operating or moving around the edges or boundaries of something, whether it's a physical space, a social circle, or a conceptual idea. It involves exploring the outer limits or margins of a system, society, or topic, a better understanding of the whole. Spaces described as liminal have two distinct characteristics. The first is that they are transitional in nature. A liminal space is considered transitory in the sense that its purpose is to take the person from one place to another, rather than being a place where one would normally stay for an extended period of time. The second characteristic of liminal spaces is that they evoke an uneasy sense of nostalgia. When viewing an image of a liminal space, observers often feel that they have seen the space in question before, but do not know why it seems familiar. This means that the observer simultaneously experiences both a sense of nostalgia and a sense of uneasiness that arises from being unable to understand exactly why they recognize the space at which they're looking.
Corridors and alleyways are common examples of liminal spaces. Such spaces often seem eerie when they are empty. This particular sense of eeriness often arises when a space is observed outside of its designed context. For example, images of an empty waiting room may somewhat be off-putting, simply because it would usually be filled with people. Without the people, an empty waiting room looks and feels somehow off and a bit strange.
Definitely.
This is in part because the emptiness allows the observer's imagination to fill in the blank in some way. Sometimes that blank space for me is the mania, auditory hallucinations, or depressive episodes flooding my brain at the current time. So perhaps these are more emotional liminal spaces. So simply, a liminal space may be thought of as a transitionary period. People will face many different liminal spaces during all of life's phases. Some will be longer than others, and some will be harder than others. But, by definition, liminality has an endpoint.
Yes. We all deal with liminal space at one point or another, and making our way through these liminal spaces, physical, psychological, or emotional, can be tough. Whether you're moving to a new city, starting a new job, or experiencing some other big life transition, the in-between moments of our lives often create feelings of anxiety and uncertainty. And I have been there. I think we've all been there at some point.
Although the uncertainty of being in a liminal space may be challenging, you must accept that it is where you are now. The principles of dialectical behavioral therapy, or DBT, can help you understand that. Although you can't control all circumstances, you can control your own thoughts,
Yes.
feelings, and reactions. I just thought it would be cool to share with you guys the way I try to view the difficulty with my diagnosis of schizoaffective disorder and what it throws at me at times. Life is transitory. Liminal spaces can create feelings of uneasiness and anxiety, but they can also be opportunities for growth and self-discovery.
Definitely.
Regardless of where you're at in life at the moment, you still have the opportunities to learn new things and discover more about yourself. And remember, as we always say in the end, it's okay not to feel or be okay all the time. You guys and gals are not alone. And we are here.
We are. And at Navigating the Periphery, we're trying to stop the stigma of a mental health diagnosis one show at a time. I love today's topic. And
Same here.
we hope you did too, that your mind and the world is just liminal spaces. And until we see you again in our next episode coming really, really soon, take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.
Bye.